With me in your Bibles to the book of 3 John chapter 1, 3 John chapter 1 and verse 2. 3 John chapter 1 and verse 2. While you're looking at that, I want to let you know that our ministry, Dare to Be Different International, is celebrating 4 years this June, and we want to thank all of you for your continued prayers and support. And we want to thank all of you who follow us via the internet. You get our hope messages via email, or you visit our websites. For those of you, of course, who listen to our youth program every Saturday from 11 a.m. on Dominion Radio 91.5 FM, we thank you also for doing just that. 3 John chapter 1 and verse 2, it says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth." Father, we thank you, dear God, for another opportunity to come to your house and to bring forth the message that you want us to hear. We pray, dear God, that you'll humble your manservant. You'll give your listeners receptive hearts, and you'll just deliver what you'll have them hear. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen. Somebody shout glory. Glory. Somebody shout hallelujah. Hallelujah. Clap your hands and make some noise for Jesus. I'd like to share with you this afternoon on the subject, man up. You were built to succeed. Man up. You were built to succeed. You see, listening friend, across the world, our world seems to be losing our men, our young men and our old men. Many of them don't seem to care about Jesus Christ anymore. Many of them don't seem to care about doing what's right anymore. So bit by bit, we are losing our young men to drugs and guns and crimes. And we are losing our older men to adultery and other sorts of sinful acts. You see, my friend, that is an act of the enemy. And God sent me here with a word today to remind men everywhere, this Father's Day 2012, that they need to man up. You were built to succeed. When God took the time out of his schedule to handcraft each man that he made, he took his precious time and he made you princes and kings. He added a special touch of success to the clinics because he had you in mind. He knew that today you will have 10 hairs or 100 hairs or just a few hairs like me. Yes, my friend, when God made you young men, when God made you older men, he knew that your humble personality would take you places. He knew it. And he also knew, my friends, that if you don't follow him, if you don't follow his word, you will end up doomed. You will never rush off, men, during a making process. God took his time on you, fathers. God took his time with you. Each curve, each extra process, and each extra line, God had you in mind. Tell your neighbor he had you in mind. If you're sitting next to a man, just shake them up, squeeze them, and tell them, God had you in mind. The psalmist put in Psalm 139 and verse 14, "I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul know it right well." What does the verse mean, men? Each of us were uniquely created. Each of us were created in God's image. And God is calling us here and now to man up and take our rightful places in society. What is happening in our world today? The jobs that we as men are supposed to be doing, the women are doing them now. What is happening in our world today? Young men and older men, they are getting children here, there, and everywhere, and they are not supporting them. God is calling you today, listening friend, to man up, take action, use, my friend, the God-given words that he gave in his Bible. We are the ruler and the head of the house, and God is calling men everywhere to take their rightful positions again. Man up. meal, in our processing, in our everyday walk. You see, when God created us, He had some particular plan for our lives. He had some particular area or goal He wanted us to reach. We started out well in Sunday school. We were in Sunday school every time the church was open. But as we grew older and older, we believed that we can control ourselves. And bit by bit, it wasn't Sunday school every Sunday anymore. It was now and again. And it wasn't church every Sunday anymore. It was now and again. And as you slipped away, the devil had you. The devil caught you. And the devil has set out to destroy you and I. But God is calling our fathers back to a covenant relationship with Him today. He's saying to you that I still have a plan for your life. I don't care what you have done. I don't care where you have gone. I don't care where you are headed. If you repent today, if you man up today, if you come back to me today, I'm going to revolutionize your life and put you back on the right path. Man up. You see, many of us as men, we have to sit and listen to society and to the women speak down to us, not because they're telling us lies, but simply because we are not looking after our children. We too want to have women here, there, and everywhere. We too are not living up to our God-given responsibilities. We are not doing it. But God is saying to us today that I want to change everything around. Once you'll man up, repent, and decide to do things God's way, not your way. Man up. Don't let anybody speak down to you or tell you otherwise anymore. That could change today, friend, when you decide to man up, when you decide to live up to your responsibilities, when you decide to do it God's way. We want to get back to the days when we had good fathers who got their wives, not women, wives pregnant, who were there, my friend, with their wives at the Geneva hospital, not somewhere drinking some rum and smoking some weed, or out with another woman when your wife is in the hospital. We need to get back to the days when men will man up, live up to their responsibilities. One man to a woman, not one man to several women. Man up and live up to God's promises. Amen. We have to get back to those days. You see, my friend, we like to hear a financial gospel where during the recession God is going to send money in your bank book and things are going to change and get excited. But when the word comes, we're quiet. But I don't have to be invited back here again. I came with one word and one message straight from the arms of God. Man up, man up, man up. God is calling great men back again. You see, friend, many of the children and the youth to whom I minister, they always tease me. And they touch the little patch in the middle of my head. And some of them tell me that I probably see you soon need to go and use some parsley. I would respond to them with a little smile. And it doesn't get me discouraged because what they're saying is the truth. I probably need some parsley. I've said this to say, my friend, simply because when a lot of the folks in society around start talking to us, especially as men, a lot of what they say is the truth. And we want to go all around the bush and make them feel it's not the truth. Sometimes as men, when they're saying those things to us and they're telling us to live right and do good and follow God's word, all we need to do at times is to shut up, consider our ways, what God wants us to do. Man up. Some daddy came to church this morning and you're saying, why did they invite that young man? Because he's all bashing us. I'm not bashing you today. Because I want to commend and endorse the fathers out there right now, because I'm sure that there are fathers in the sound of my voice who are doing what they ought to do. You're caring for your home. You're banking with your wife. You have one woman and not 10. You're making sure that you wake up every morning and you lead your family devotions. I know there are men out there. I know there are men out there who have wives who work along with their wives right here listening along with me, and you don't have your wife as a slave. I know. It has to be. Otherwise God will just burn down this church right now. But we are alive right now because there's probably one man in here who's doing that. I know there are good men out there right now who probably cook also and don't let their wife cook all the time. They're good men. There are good men out there right now who doesn't let the wife struggle with her $320 a week while they go and buy some weed and smoke it off or drink it down the shop. They're good men. And if there are good men out there, my friend, we bless God for them. But I know they're bad men too. They're bad men too, are not living up to their responsibilities. And God is calling you today to man up. He loves you. Man up. He wants you. Man up. He has a plan for your life. And He's saying to you, don't step out of these doors today the same person you were yesterday. I have a plan for your life. And your children are looking at you. Your grandchildren will look at you. Whether you lived a good life as a father or whether you were the worst father in town. In preparing some of the many fathers, the gifts I had to provide for customers. This order was done by a mother. She did a shirt for her husband and she did 2 shirts for her children. The shirts for her children were marked, I have the best daddy in town. I have the best daddy in town. Your children, many of you, they wish you happy Father's Day. I want you to ponder this question, young men, old men alike. Did they wish you happy Father's Day because it was the thing to say? Or did they wish you happy Father's Day because you have manned up and you're living up to your responsibilities as a father? I'm 25 years old. I'm an intelligent guy. I have my own business. But I say this with no water in my mouth. I never had a father figure in my life. My dad didn't live up to his responsibilities. Of course, if I wanted money in school, he'll give it to us, all of us, enough of it. We had it in abundance. If he wanted the fancy clothes and the shoes, he'll give it to us. We had it in abundance. Whatever we wanted, he'll give it. But I want to tell you today, fathers, money can't buy love. Children are looking for time. Children are looking for some sort of love. Children are looking for your tender eye care. They're not looking to see daddy by the rum shop when they walk home for school. They're not looking to see daddy in another room talking to another woman when mommy's in the kitchen cooking. They're not looking for that. Man up. Man up. Man up. We're tired of that now. The devil is working. He's working. You were built to succeed, yeah, men. But I want you to know that the devil constantly works. He's constantly walking around as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Comes with his big, ugly face. And he comes to bring destruction. He doesn't care, my friend, about anyone. He wants to destroy. The very look on his face isn't anything happy. He comes, young men. He comes, daddies. He comes, fathers, because he wants to wreck homes, wreck families, and destroy hearts. That's the devil. But amen, on this Father's Day, I want you to know that God built you to succeed. God built you so you can become a leader. You can stand out in your children's life as somebody with an aim, a goal. We must change the way that we behave from today. This Father's Day, man up, do what's right. Man up, treat your wife right. Man up for those of you who don't have a wife but you have a child with somebody and prepare to get married to them. Man up. When we man up, our society will change. When we man up, our children will change. Many of those who are pushing drugs and dealing with ganja and carrying the guns up and down the place, I want you to know, many of them lacked a father figure in their lives. If they had a daddy who taught them how to be a man and who taught them what is right, they probably would not have gone their way. But mommy cannot do it all. And permit me today to say Happy Father's Day to all of the mothers in the house. Yes. Amen. I had to tell my mom that yesterday on the radio. Because had it not been for mommy, I wouldn't be where I am today. When daddy was lacking, mommy was there. And so Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers in the house. You were a bad father yesterday, but I decree and declare in your life today that you are starting to man up from today. And the Conaree area will see a fresh set of men, a fresh set of fathers taking up their responsibilities, a fresh set of men who are marrying the ladies they have pregnant or have a child for, a fresh set of men who would stop committing adultery and stick to their wives that God has given them, a fresh set of men from today, man up. I want to talk to the young people briefly as I prepare to shut up and put down the mic. I want to tell you, young people, that you are something special. Squeeze somebody next to you, wake them up, tell them, wake up, you are somebody special. In the book of Matthew 25 and verse 24, it says, then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawn. If I had enough funds to build the Dare to Be Different International Mission Center today, I restructure my entire life and activities and get to work. Simply because our young people definitely needed to be encouraged and motivated. I want some young person to know, as you look at me today, you are good at something. You are good at something. I did to be different impact session some time ago with a primary school student, almost brought tears to my eyes. I then remembered that counselors aren't supposed to cry. They have to remain down to earth, listen and help their client. The child spoke and spoke and spoke, telling me of good times and bad, wishes and regrets. And then they ended their little talk with me and they said, Brother Khrystus, I'm not good at anything. I'm not good at anything. That statement killed all of my energy inside me instantly, even though I needed that same energy to encourage. With a smile on my face on the outside, but burning deeply within, I pondered, what should I say to this God-sent person? What came to my mind immediately? I told the student, you are good at something and we'll find it out. Why am I saying this today in this forum? I brought it to this forum because I want some young person today to know that even though you are living in a house where your mother isn't encouraging encouraging you, and your father is speaking down at you, you are good at something. Even though you live in a community where every single neighbor, every single shopkeeper is minding your own business and chatting your name to the ground, you are good at something. You are good at something. Don't let them stop you. I don't like when I get angry in my spirit when I'm preaching the gospel, but I know that God is bringing out something today, because there's some downtrodden young person today in the sound of my voice. They feel like they can't make it, and every negative word that they continue to hear, they just want to give up. But I've stopped by here to tell you, don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Keep on pushing. God's with you. You will make it. You will make it. You will make it. You are good at something. I was young into ministry when I had to deal with another student. I started to deal with this student. During one of our first sessions, they told me, I don't have any encouragement at school. I don't get any encouragement at home. I live with my grandmother, and my grandmother ensures that she wishes me off to school every day. And she stands by the door every day that I can remember for my life. Granny would tell me that you come on, go on to school. You'll go to school and chat and you'll come out. I was young in ministry, and Pastor, I felt like I shouldn't be there anymore. There was room enough to cause me to go and cheer a carnival committee, Calypso show. I was discouraged instantly in my spirit. That day, I decided I'm not going to let mommy's words come to pass, or granny's words come to pass. I worked with that student, day in, day out. I encouraged them. I set up a timetable for them. I called them to make sure they were studying. When I saw them on the road, I ran them home. I was their mother and their father and their everything. And when the results came back, they were the first person in the history of their family to get 7 subjects. They were the first person in the history of their family to ever work in a reputable institution. Their family came from a set of people who worked on the garbage truck, who worked as cleaners, who worked somewhere else, and they changed the system. I showed them that they are good at something. The same granny today depends on that jack to pay the electricity bill, to pay the rent or whatever they call it for the house, to give something extra to her. That same granny, that same person today. The other day speaking to them, I smiled because I watched them progress over the last 3 years to a special position in their job, and they told me that they were now working for close to $3,000 a month. A young person who dared to be different made sure they told them they are good at something. They are good at something, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I have a special thing for teachers. I don't want to use the wrong word, so let me reserve that, but I'm saying to teachers, if there are any teachers in the house, and if you live with a teacher, if you know a teacher, if your child gets in contact with a teacher, tell them that I said so. Give the young people a chance. Work with them. Teach them. Stop being lazy. Stop taking the government's money and the private school's money and telling them all sorts of stupidness. They are good at something, and if they work with them, something good will happen to them. Somebody got to talk out for our young people. Parents, when you go to the school and you're not getting the good attention that teachers should be giving your children, don't shut up, talk out. They kicked them out of school at 4th form. and they tell them that they won't make it. I started teaching CXC classes, my own CXC classes, when I was 16 years old. I graduated valedictorian when I was 15 years old. Let me tell you something, young people. I went from 1A1 to 2A1 to 3A1 to 4A1. Then I was demoted to 5A2. But that demotion didn't get me down. I worked even harder. I had set in my mind that